Hello everybody, welcome back to Tweet Street, Season 2, Episode 2. In this episode I'll be chatting about the real stars of the show in the bird room, a couple of the pairs there, and the conditioning has started, ready for the breeding season, so I'll go on to chat about that. So apologies for not putting out an episode last Sunday. Very sadly, my father passed away last Sunday, and he was the person that got me into bird watching and bird keeping, so I've got him to thank for all the lovely hobbies I've had throughout my lifetime. So I shall be chatting about a few little bits that he's helped me with over the years, and so sorry about the missing episode last week, but I'm sure you'll all understand. Okay, so a little while ago, Brian, the secretary from the Grantham Cage Bird Society, contacted me and asked me if I could put some information on some of their meetings they've got coming up, and I said yes, of course I would. Spreads the love of the hobby. So they've got one on the 13th of February. It's at the Grantham Railway Social Club, Hunting Tower Road in Grantham. There'll be a little map after this coming up as well, so you can see where it starts. Now they've got Rob Brown, and he's going to be doing a talk on soft bills. That should be really interesting if you can get there. It kicks off at 7:30 in the evening. I'm sure there'll be refreshments and the like. You don't have to be a member of the club to go. So have a little look, put it in your sat nav, and if it's within distance and you're available on that evening to pop and have a look, please do so. Help support the club and gain a bit more interest in birds and other things. So yeah, have a look at that, please. So as always, and very briefly, what's the weather been like here in England? It's about the same as my mood at the moment. It's very dark and drab. It's been extremely cold. We've hit freezing again. The bird room does have a heater in, so I'm keeping it just above freezing. So the birds have been fine. I haven't lost any birds since New Year's Eve with the fireworks, and so they're all getting on really well. Conditioning wise, now I've started putting some additives in the water, just some vitamins, and just to build them up a little bit. I've been giving them a little bit of conditioning food, a little bit of egg food, not a lot, just a small finger tray every couple of days, just to slowly build them up to condition. So we're hoping to start breeding in about the second week of March. That's the cunning plan. So you're looking at Mariah Carey bird, who's the primary bird for me at the moment, as I see it, and she's going to be going to do her little business with Ray's Goldbird. Now I don't normally give my birds names, but a lot of people watching don't actually keep birds, and for those having a name they can relate to the bird. So obviously some of you guys, if I say, oh, there's a silver non-cap hen, you'll be fine. They'll just scratch their heads. So some of them have names. So simply, you've got Mariah Carey bird because she was a bit of a diva. We've got Ray's Gold. I couldn't call him Ray's Gold Cock, obviously. So God knows what people will be searching. So Ray's Gold bird is the male cock bird. She's going to be paired with. Now that bird also, Ray's Gold, might go with Mariah's daughter, who's in the cage below her at the moment. Now I might put the daughter bird with another bird I've moved out of my stock, just to make sure. Last year she didn't have anything viable, so I might just put her as a pair, but we'll have another bird to run Ray's Gold Cockbird over. Quite looking forward to that pairing. Then of course we've got the Higgins line. Really looking forward to seeing what we get from these guys. So the female bird I'll call Mrs. Higgins for the sake of arguing, and we've got the cockbird Mr. Higgins. He's a silver. Now Mr. Higgins will also be popping downstairs to say hello to Mrs. T, which was probably my best bird. Well, she was my best bird I bred last year. So he'll probably be going over this young lady too. and we'll see how that goes. I do have a spare bird just in case it doesn't pan out, because last year I struggled with one cockbird over multiple hens. So I do have spares this year just in case. So that's what I'm looking at trying to do there. So like I say, very sad news about my father. He was poorly, and I was with him most of the time. Luckily I work in the hospital he was admitted to. Now, he got me into birding at a very young age. As crikey, I was only months old when we had a budgie in the house, and that's what we grew up with. The budgie was 15 years old when it decided to leave us. So we'd always have birds as a hobby. In the house. There was a hobby. We lived right next to the countryside, so I used to spend most of my time out in the fields, the meadows, the woods, and basically bird watching began there. Luckily for me, my father worked at a newspaper in Northampton called the Canaries, and a fellow he worked with was a member of the British Trust for Ornithology. He was also the chairman of Northamptonshire Bird Club, and his name was Ron Nichols. Lovely, lovely man. And he said, would I like to go out bird watching and bird ringing? Of course. Fantastic. So my best memories are going around with this gentleman, ringing birds, having birds in the hand to look at, kingfishers and beautiful birds from all over the world that come to migrate to the UK, and we would catch them, ring them catching nets, ring them, take some data and send them back on their way. And it was a lovely hobby, and bird watching as well was a lovely hobby for me, and still is. So to get myself grounded, I couldn't stay in during the week, so I've popped out to the local reservoir just to take the dogs for a walk and get some fresh air. And it's cold, like I say, bitter cold. You're looking at here some field fare. Just had a bath, as you can see, a wet bird, and then you see a dry bird along with a redwing. Easy to see why it's got its name. And these are winter visitors. They come over from the colder climates, over Norway direction, and they come over for our food, our berries and our fruit. Also, I went down to the reservoir, have a little walk around there. The dog's getting a bit of a walk, and we needed the fresh air. Down by the water's edge, there's 3 dunlin scurrying around, looking for bits in the mud. Amazing birds. I've got a photo here. Look, it's got its head buried in the mush and the mud. There's not a speck of mess on them. I mean, I come home plastered. I'm walking on tarmac. These guys are fantastic, but look, the bears, only a small bird, you know, small as your hand. Further out, there was a lot of ice on the reservoir. There was only a few patches of free water. I spotted a bird that is a rare bird for here, and you can just see it there. There's a little bit closer shot coming up. It's a small duck called a smew. A winter visitor. We don't get many of. It's a diving duck. They spend a lot of time underwater diving, but when they come up, it's nice to get a quick photo of them. And that was a nice little spot. Lovely to see. Other birds that we get every now and then, like I say, the last duck, the smew, was a diving duck. Interestingly, diving ducks tend to nest high up off the floor in holes in trees as such. And then we've got these ducks. These are pintail ducks, and you can see by these, a bigger duck, excuse me, these are dipping ducks. They dip up, right, so they're sticking the rear end up in the air. As you can see, the female's got a rear end up, and the male's just keeping an eye out, make sure nobody slaps up on them. And that's how they feed, and they all tend to nest on the ground. Just a little fact. And here we've got mallard standing on the ice, waiting for it to thaw, so that's another ground bird when that comes to nesting. We also had some geese flying in. There's a grey lag and a Canada goose together flying in. And one of the interesting things my father got me into with the British BTO was we went to a lake in Norfolk in the 1970s, and in about August time here in the UK, Canada geese, they lose their flight feathers, they molt their flight feathers, and they can't fly. So all these geese, hundreds and hundreds, were rounded up in a long lake, they went into pens at the bottom, and there was many of us ringing all the geese, put rings on for some great scientific data in the future. It was really nice them flying in there. Brought back some lovely memories. Time to reflect when you're going around, especially in an evening. Is crikey, I'll tell you what it is in a minute. It's a bird, and that's just wandering, a little eaglet, sorry, wandering around near the shoreline as the sun's going down. And here is the sun just about going down a freezing cold reservoir. Most of it was ice, and the ducks were struggling. But it was really, I needed to get out, as you can imagine, and try and gather my thoughts about what's happened and what's going to be happening over the next few weeks. So that's it. It's a relatively short episode. I will do another one hopefully next week. If not, hopefully you'll understand. But we'll get back to normal at some point shortly, and we'll introduce you to some more of the birds in the bird room. I'll leave you with a little picture of my father and the little outro that I pre-made last time. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what you're seeing. A little chat about the wild birds and just chilling out at times when you need to. So take care, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye bye for now. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of Tweet Street and sharing your time with me. So if you'd like to comment, please do so. If you've liked what you've seen, please click a like so I get an idea of where we are. If you'd like to share what you've seen with others, please do so. Spreading the love of the hobby, that's brilliant. If you could subscribe, you'll get to know when future content's coming out. And if you'd like to take it further and buy me a coffee, basically that's offering a small donation towards the running cost of the channel, you'd be very welcome. So thank you all, everybody. Hope you're well, hope your birds are well, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye bye for now.